morning. My name is Miriam Johnson, and welcome to the Makings of a Video Gaming Law Professor. So, today we are going to just kind of build up the concepts that I talked about from the last couple of videos, make sure that these things make sense, and kind of walk myself backwards. So, the first thing is that, to me, copyright is the bedrock of video gaming law. I can be debated because I am new to this, but it sounds like from both constitutional rights and some of the early leading decisions in this space around ownership, copyright tends to be the first step of that because the game is about the story. And so with that in mind, I have been thinking about how to structure this class in a kingdom setup, one that understands that each faction of intellectual property, compounded with the concepts of contract law, licensing, and agreements, and then the business commercialization portion of this thing, which is a very large part of this because you gotta make the money. With all of that, because all of the intellectual property setups and the licensing setups also require money. You have to pay money to file a copyright. You have to pay money to get a trademark file. And so all of these things, in addition to making sure you keep up with those things in their year time frames. So all of those things require money. And so in order to get that money back, you need to be able to make money off of said thing. And so thinking about it like that, going into it knowing that copyrights really set up the story that we'll visually see in these worlds, that we'll visually see in these MOBAs, that we'll visually see, and even in some of this ed tech as we're moving towards bringing education into the spaces that children and adults like the most. Bringing that information, especially education information, into the spaces that the eyes like the most, whether you're a child or adult, is going to probably require some of the same setups that video gaming law have to apply that same thing to ed tech and ed tech technology. In addition to probably some of the subject matter expert information and maybe even licensing certain books and licensing their publicity rights to appear in the games. Imagine if Chemerinsky or some of the greats, Joyner, Dawson, many of the other large professors in that space were to appear in a game for your class. For your crim law class, your crim pro class, your con law class, your video gaming law class. And so I understand that setup continues to bleed over into how we're going to digitally express gaining knowledge and gaining information. The second part of that for me is also adding in the building block of bar prep, because that is also the other space that we have kind of curtailed in the legal industry to digital expression. So most bar prep programs, if they are not in person, in an in-class setting, are administered online through long videos or short form videos or any other variation of educational technology that the company deems fits the user. There are many new bar prep programs that are deciding to use short form videos and also gamification to support the end goal, which is hopefully high bar passage. That same concept and that same reality is where I think the rest of the law school matriculation is going. And so I would also like to continue to bring the concept of hey, this is not just video gaming law in how we both create, maintain, and protect the story or our intellectual property rights that we have developed over this particular item, individual game, or eventually set of games, etc. But now we're going to do that very similar thing in your mind around your intellectual property of how you have gained and stored your law school career. And if you can see that information earlier in that same digital space, with the concepts of testing that the bar deems fit, both now and in the coming years, and when the next gen bar comes about, then I think we set up a way better lawyer, we set up a better bar taker, and we eventually set up a better student to be ready for the digital innovation that will continue to bleed and disrupt what natural law school look and feel is. Like what it is to be in a classroom of 60 people. Maybe you're in a classroom of 60 people, but it is online. Maybe you're in a classroom of 60 people and your teacher is not there. Maybe you're in a classroom of 60 people and you are in a more test-oriented environment versus a philosophical, Socratic environment. All of those things are concepts that I want to throw in the air and hopefully land in places that you will either eventually see in the next year when you take the bar, or the next 2 years when you take the new bar, and continue to gather your test taking prowess, your analytical skills, and also learning how to mind map your way through concepts that are not linear, because none of it is. And in some ways we've been taught in certain classes that there's only one way to an answer, or there's only one way to write a thing. And as we've learned over the years and maybe in practice, that there are a lot of ways to get to a certain space, but the way you get there and how you map someone through it is all that matters on paper. And the more you can retain the essence of the law, and outside of memorization, but the essence of what the law is looking for, and how you begin to tell your story around what you see in the facts, how you see this business progressing, what you think the marketing is, and how you present that to people, whether it's on that paper in the bar exam room where the people are studying, or the people are reading your exams, or on a presentation at a company where you have been tasked with some public policy issues that this company is facing based on the products that they distribute. And you can tangentially show them all of the things that connect to that product, and how the risk and how the management can support you going in any direction that you choose based on how you've analyzed that information. That's the stuff. That's the stuff that I am trying to communicate here. That's the stuff that I am hoping through various means of lots of testing, unfortunately, with multiples, timed essays, and in and out of class activities, whether it's I go ahead and shoot the class here, or I come to class and teach the class, and then have a lot of guest speakers who are in the industry who also begin to back up the information that I know. I think we'll have a well-rounded course, and the goal is to get you ready for what it is to be a innovative, creative thinker and attorney in a world that is in transition to a new space, and an industry that sometimes finds it hard to keep up. So I think that's a better introductory video than I've done so far, and I'm really excited to meet all of you. Right now there's 12 of you. There may be one more, but we'll see. But right now it's 12, and 12 is one of my favorite numbers. And so I hope you're having a great summer, and I'm excited to see you all in August. But this is the way I'm going to take my stab at video gaming and the law. So see you soon.